Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we got another video to react to. Are CEOs overpaid? CEOs versus blue collar workers. Now, blue collar workers, in my opinion, are going to be the multi-millionaires in 10 years time. Because AI cannot replace blue collar workers as of yet. Maybe in 100 years for sure, but right now, electricians, contractors, plumbers, you can't replace them. You need a real human being to do that for you, the dirty work. And trust me, they're making a lot of good money. Not dirty money, good money. But the question is, are CEOs overpaid? Probably. What do you guys think?
Why should CEOs make millions while some workers can't even afford rent?
Well, that's a pretty interesting question.
CEOs, blue-collar workers. Both are essential to society, yet CEOs earn 200 times more. Is this pay gap fair?
Is this pay gap fair? In my opinion, hell no. Now, of course, should CEOs, should bosses, founders, people in the C-suite, people in upper management or upper levels, the upper echelon of that company be paid the most? Yes, I do agree they should be paid the most. But should they be paying, or should they be earning 200, 300, 1,000x more? Now then again, of course, this question goes is a different answer for a small company and a huge company. For example, like what's the biggest company in the world right now? Nvidia, right? That's a huge company. Now, of course, the answer would be a little different between a Nvidia sized company or a company that only has less than 100 employees, right?
Or the result of a broken system. We paired them face to face to find out.
What were some of the biggest obstacles to get you to where you are today?
Founding a tech company is incredibly stressful. Just a whole bunch of risk taking. I'm married.
That's also true. I mean, if you're a founder and, if you're a founder of a company, you're taking on a bunch of risk, a bunch of debt, and you could lose everything if you fail. So I do get it in that aspect, in that point of view, where those people, the founders who then become the CEOs, should make the most money because they did take the biggest risk, the biggest debt, and they're also creating jobs. So that I can understand as well.
I like to joke that I'm first generation blue collar. And I chose something very different than a lot of my family. They were like, "Are you sure about that? Is that really the move you want to make?" And I went into it, and now that I'm established, they definitely are much more supportive, and I think it's great.
Being an entrepreneur.
Blue collar is amazing. If you're someone who's in high school or maybe 18, 19, 20 years old, and you have no idea what you want to do with your life, I think you should go to a trade school. Easy. Trade school right now. Learn a trade, right? Learn a skill, be an apprentice for a few years or like a year or two, right? And then, work for a company and eventually open your own practice, right? And then build your own business and go from there.
I can't tell you how many Christmases I've been laying under an engine at the airport when my poor little kids are waiting for dad to get home, so that's very difficult too.
A lot of sacrifices.
A lot of sacrifices.
The stresses of running a business.
I think sacrifice in itself, chat. I think if you want to be successful in life, and of course everyone's definition of success is different, I understand that, but truthfully, in my opinion, I believe that if you truly want to be successful in life, in all avenues of life, right? Finances, emotional, social, whatever the case may be, you have to make some sacrifices, right? Whether it be spending less time on social media, spending less time with friends and family, spending less time on video games, just something to then you have to add more time into that thing that you want to do, right? To then become successful in that thing. And of course, just because you work hard and you work for a long time doesn't mean you'll be successful. But if you don't try at all, you have a 0% chance.
CEOs of S&P 500 companies now make an average of 16.
Okay, so now it's different, right? We got the S&P 500, which you guys don't know, it's an ETF, right? And pretty much the S&P 500 is like the top 500, companies in America essentially. So if you invest in the S&P 500, you get like a piece of, it's like a stock, right? You invest in that, and that money you put in to buy that stock is a fraction, like a piece of all those 500 companies, right? So of course, this S&P 500 company CEO is going to make millions and millions of dollars a year because they're a top 500 company.
I fully support every CEO being paid what the board thinks that they should be paid.
That is true, chat, because a lot of people don't realize that the CEO isn't really the only person that's in charge of everything, right? You have the board directors, essentially, right? And the board directors, they pretty much elect a CEO, right, essentially. Of course, this doesn't go with all companies. I'm just saying just some companies, here and there. And the board of directors, who they listen to, the shareholders, the investors, the people who put millions and millions of dollars into the company, and they want a return. Trust me, right, chat? If you invested millions and millions of your own money into a company, you know damn well you want a return on that investment, as we all do. Whether you invest $1, shoot, $1 billion.
Similar to the whole Elon Musk windfall bonus situation in Delaware, where he was due billions of dollars, and then a judge shut it down,
$56
saying that
billion
he shouldn't
is
earn that much.
crazy.
The shareholder said he should. The board said he should because he drove way more than that.
Well, yeah, I mean, if the board, right, directors and the shareholders, the big money players all agree that he should get that much money, I guess there's nothing really you can stop or say no to, right? Because all the big money players all agreed.
CEO that was hired by a board, and and they're all taking part in the profits of the company and all that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that it's $100,000 a day is necessary.
16 point.
Yeah, if you lay it out like that, it's like, dude, is anyone out there actually doing $100,000 worth of work every day? No.
A CEO might put out significantly more than what they earn, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's been earned. That's my argument.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good argument, right? Because yeah, sure, if a good CEO does lead a company to then generate way more income and then of course increase shareholder value, by a lot, right? Of course, then they'll earn the big bucks, right? The tens and hundreds of $millions a year. But the question is, sure, they quote unquote earned that, but did they truly put in this case, $16 million of actual work? And of course, people say yes, people say no. What am I saying? Oh, my dog. Oh, 1 second.
A few inches later.
I have a board of directors, and it's their job to fire me if I am not performing according to the expectations of the shareholders. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of
of course, yeah. I mean, of course, I do agree with that. There are a lot of things that go behind the scenes when it comes to big businesses, or just businesses in general, right? A lot of people don't see that, nor can they even imagine that. Right, if that's a correct word or whatever. But yeah, I mean, a lot of things go behind the scenes. Right, but of course people don't see that, and then they just think that they're not working hard at all, or they're just slacking off, I guess.
No one ever understands what a person go through unless they're in it.
That's also
Do you
true.
think blue-collar workers work harder than CEOs?
There are some extremely.
Well, okay.
That you had.
When I come home, I do what I want to do, and I don't think about that place at all.
It's also true.
Oh wow, I get.
If you're a CEO or founder, right, pretty much the job never ends. It's 24/7 essentially. You can't take a break. There is no taking vacations. There is no taking a break. Your family could go on vacations. You could be there physically with them, but mentally and emotionally, you're with the company. You're not actually there. Physically, you are there on vacation, or if you're with your family or friends or whatnot, you're there physically, but mentally, you're not there. You're always thinking about business. You're always thinking about how you could, expand the business and all the cool things that CEOs do.
Damn.
Influence somebody.
I would never say the impact of what we do. When I have customers, who say that this product changed their life, is huge. From a personal perspective, I was the first in my family to get a degree, first in my family to grow a multi-million-dollar company, and it just shows us in my family to
$500 investment becomes a multi-million. Damn. Bro, the ROI on that, the return on investment must go crazy. $500, chat, to multi-millions. Congratulations on that. Jeez Louise.
For so long been purely focused on impact that somebody makes in the world, but seeing how you aren't trying to make necessarily more than somebody next to you, like you believe that they put in work too, and you give them credit for the effort and the time that they put into developing their skill set is incredibly admirable, and something that I think a lot of people could use.
All right, guys, that's it for that. So.
Awesome.
That was a great video, man. I think that was a great conversation, honestly.